All right. So last time we had played, you guys were just fending off the Sahagwin marauders and managing to keep the captain, Monica Serrana, alive, as well as Wave Sage Arits, as well as most of the crew. Small losses compared to what could have happened without your heroics. The four-armed ringleader with his sea dragon fled to the salty waves once Thoric used his overwhelming presence and distracted much of the shark assault on the ship itself. And soon after the fish were picked off one by one, the party then looked to take stock of it. You know, you dispatched a lot of Sahagwin warriors. This attack that came on just as you're about the tail end. But what was clear was the amount of damage that happened to the ship from this attack of multiple great-sized sharks, and endeavoring to try and keep up with the progress the ship was making. All of you worked through the night with wood repairs, with manual labor to ferry supplies around, and Orly and I believe Lyranok were the only two that failed their constitution saves. But for the moment, it has been an all-nighter shift. It is in the early 6, 7 in the morning, and the pale light of orange hues to start to broadcast across the horizon. You're getting closer and closer. You're mere hours, a handful of hours away from Oakhart on this ship. And I would like, as we last left off, the party was discussing with Tame the Impaler, the bard who's traveling with you, about multiple things in regards to Oakhart and the plans you have there. He talked about the tournament, what he knew of it, what little he knew. Talked about things you guys might want to be aware of, but also I think you guys were in the process of agreeing what you wanted him to gallivant around Oakhart with, about your tales, about your heroics, about what you guys are successful at, because the hope is that with his performances, with his reputation, it will be able to draw up support or acclaim to the party or to individuals within the party to get a better standing when it comes to this tourney that will happen in days and days time. So I was kind of just looking and waiting for an exact list of events. I did get a few last session, but I know a few people were absent. So obviously there's the one of starting where the adventure began, where the party began, defeating the loose animals at the Fair of Rakmir. You cleared the Sunless Citadel. Torkel and Thork defended Vard years past, and Orly wanted to abstain amongst his name being mentioned at all. So I think Lyranok is fine being mentioned, but wants most of it pressed upon Thoric.
There was also that our involvement with dealing with the cult of the Hydra.
Yeah,
Rakmir, we helped out, but we're hiding our exact connection with exactly who we were there. We're more so indicating ourselves as a third party support. That fought elements of them.
And Hendrik, obviously you dozed off to sleep by this point, but I would imagine, does Hendrik want to be included in any of these tales, either explicitly or alluded to, or does he want to be completely anonymous and unnamed in any of these events?
Unnamed.
Okay. But knowing that your presence was there, or just vague?
No, don't even freaking mention me.
Okay, Hendrik, unmentioned. Good for a cop, especially a secret cop, to be unmentioned completely.
I don't want to hear a story about myself sung poorly 100 years from now. If they get all the details wrong, it's going to piss me off.
True. And kind of these last few details, unless there's anything else that you guys want to add while he's like jotting his notes down on his parchment at the dining table in the Torment Tamer.
I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, I don't have anything off the top of my head that I think needs to be included.
Okay. So he's like finishing up the notes. He's like finished etching, making quick annotations. And he gives a nod. And you get the sense this takes about place around 30 minutes to kind of get exactly. And he asks vague questions, and he gets like absurd answers from Orly and Hendrik about anonymity. And he says, well, once we are settled in Oakheart, it'll take me a few days to get a pitch, at least a rough draft together. So don't rush me on it. But I will go and see to my things and my belongings, because it seems from the movement of the crew, we're not but a few hours away. And he excuses himself from the table after like pushing away his finished breakfast. And the five of you are left at this table. Is there anything guys would like to do or speak to or anything like that before you kind of progress towards Oakheart?
Okay. What about the others?
Give me
I think
let's see. Oh no, the map's on a different. Sorry, I just realized the map's on a different thing.
we're all on the same page about what we have to do, right? We have to go in there, get ourselves outfitted as quickly
Yes.
as possible because of the costs, right?
Yeah, the cost and just the amount of
The
time it would take
time.
to get one,
The time,
because
yeah.
the tailors might be quite busy.
Yeah, so let's try and get in there, find ourselves an appropriate tailor and get the ball rolling.
Yeah, get some fine garments and threads. Because you guys have mostly got traveling clothes or Under Armour. So getting some expensive stuff will be smart.
How's everyone doing for money?
Good question.
I think I was looking fine last time I checked.
I have 650 gold and change.
I've got 750. So
It's 17
Yeah,
platinum.
yeah, okay, we should be fine.
170. Inventory. I have 750 gold, 6 silver, 1 copper.
Yeah, you
We
guys
should
have,
be good.
We
should
should be
be.
fine.
Is a platinum worth 10 gold or 100 gold?
Yeah.
10.
10.
Okay. Why is everyone so much richer than I am? What the fuck?
I'm
I must have bought something. I think I bought something. I think I bought. I think
Yeah,
I bought
haven't
something fancy.
spent any of my
Yeah.
money, so
No, I bought useful stuff.
What better place to spend your coinage than Oakheart, the premier destination for such fine things?
I disagree. It's fashion over function. Makes no sense to Orly. But it's the plan, so it's fine.
It's all part of the plan, Arthur. All right. You can hear the movements of top deck, and as you kind of guys eventually head up, awaiting arrivals to Oakheart, you see that the ship is slowly lulling closer and closer to the coastline after a while. Ahead of you, across this coastline, the cliff faces are sheer. They are a bleach white, and there is thick forests and brush and shrubs across the land above it. It gives this kind of stark white to green to then this kind of brownish blackish rock at the bottom of where the blue hue of the ocean meets it. You can see populations of seal colonies on coastal rocks and formations, as well as a few large flying seabirds in and around, which they seem to be more moving north as the direction similar to you, almost like they're tailing your ship and heading towards a similar place. And there's this jut, there's this protrusion ahead, kilometers away. It starts to get closer and closer, and you can see various other ships, and almost like a unseen crack, a distant gap which you cannot really make sense of from the angle. You just start to see the front of a ship just leave out of a gap from this white walled cliff edge. And as it kind of moves forward, there's a few shouts of We can see the entrance, Captain, and it's like floated around and passed around the crew, and the ship has to make ready to kind of drift away out to back towards the ocean to then do a kind of hard right-hand turn into this entrance. There's a few other ships leaving this cove. It looks like you're sailing towards a cove, and the water, this brilliant blue hue, as you get closer and closer, seems to get clearer and clearer and clearer. So much so that you're seeing 30, 40 meters into the actual water itself. And you see various shoals of fish, vibrant dark blues, vibrant oranges and yellows and reds of the sea life beneath, corals. And coral is expansive in the depths beneath. And getting closer, these cliff faces covered in lush green oak forests, the mirror shine of the sun glow across these limestones are pure and white. And you scan forward, and as the ship kind of takes that right hand hard turn, you start to see like kind of this about a 400 to 500 foot just sheer crack in this cliff face where it looks like someone has just got like a map making tool. It's like dug like a cylinder straight through a rock face, so creating an artificial cove. And you see dozens of ships of mostly similar size to you. And there's a watchtower you can see tucked away in some of the forestry above the kind of cliff edges. And staring inside, there is the singular large circular structure of a wooden pontoon fortress on stilts with dozens of wooden cranes and frames where ships are settled and lassoed. It looks clear that there is like a one-way system, like a circular system where ships enter in a certain angle and they are fixed to this kind of large amassed artificial structure in the middle of the cove before they make landfall on it, and then they rotate out and leave out. So there's, traffic just goes in one way and out the other. And on that pontoon bridges, you can see these squarish river ferries, because past the actual fortress itself, there is the river that runs up towards Oakhart is there. While the ship like waits its turn and sails in, and you're probably about 3 or 4 ships behind getting docked. You gather you're maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes away from getting docked. The captain walks up to Porkle, a fellow dwarven, and she has a piece of folded parchment in her hand, and she says, Master Dwarf, your attention, please.
Yeah, okay. I'll approach her or go over to her.
Yeah, she gives a nod. I was wondering how best to repay you for your efforts of you and your friends in protecting the crew. The coinage, unfortunately, that most people have already paid is now desperately needed for repairs. So I can't part with that. But I can do you something better. I have a friend in Oakhart who owes me a few favors, and she has dwellings in a nice part of the town, and I think that, well, my way of helping you out would be, it may be unpredictable to find decent lodgings with the amount of footfall. She gestures to like the other passenger ships coming in and out of Oakhart. You're not the only one, and there must be 50 souls of just passengers on this, so there's going to be like a few people coming in. Her name is Carmen. She lives up in the hills in Wingsprun. Just look for the she kind of like thinks to herself, look for the Naples boarding house up and around in that region on the northern side of Wingsprun. You'll find her up there, and show her this letter, and she'll do the best to accommodate your troop, even including the makeup faced one.
I appreciate the repayment. We will make for her at once to get ourselves settled.
I'm sorry I can't do more, but as I said, we have a few new crew to hire, and we must request the services of the Wainwrights aboard the pontoons to help fix the ship. So we'll be here for a week or two at most. So if you need us to travel again, we'll be heading towards Breakwater on our voyage, but avoiding that passage next time around. We'll go for deeper water.
It's if we need your help, I will come and request it. I appreciate the safe, well, not safe travel, I suppose, but I appreciate the speed at which we got here, and um, wish you all the best.
Yeah, she says, pass my thanks to your friends. And she just gives a firm handshake. And she's got a lot of stuff. She goes instantly and starts barking commands and orders towards a troop of you. Thoric and Orly, are you guys doing anything specifically, or just kind of taking it all in, all this stuff?
If there's no other hard work that needs doing on the ship as we get in, then yeah, Thork will be will be up on deck in his armor with his stuff, just leaning against the railing, looking at Oakheart as we approach.
Yeah, I'm super excited to get onto land. So
Yeah. So what you see is these multiple ferries are actually suspended up, they're like in the middle of the pontoon, so none of them have actually been cast off and dropped into the water. You probably gather they're lifted up into the central axis. If you imagine the wooden ferry terminal, if you will, from where all the ships are loading onto, is kind of circular, like cylinder, and then in the middle is multiple large river ferries that are lifted up on connected pulley systems, and then so people can walk onto them. Then they're dropped in. Think of a ship being lowered, like a secondary vessel, in the middle, and as you watch these cranes work and load the ships in front of you onto these river vessels, actually loading whole cargo from the holds of some of these ships, then putting them on the ferries, you see that there are gangplanks that get tethered to the other ships and will be similarly done to yours, with handholds and rope protecting the gangplanks, so passengers can walk down to avoid a summer's dip in the blue. And it comes up to your time just barely, and the ship gets closer and closer, and the scale, the noise, the real mess of people. It's like imagine an airport at rush hour. It's just people everywhere, and there's flagged signals going to the ships that someone on the cruise nest is communicating with, and all these multiple different working pieces in order to actually make sure that there's a timekeeping and there's a certain order to how things are going, and the ship in front of you casts off and starts to suck around the one-way system, and then you're levied up and pulled up, and then this big heavy torqued gangplank from the pontoon is lowered down onto the side of your boat at a length of about 80 feet away from it, and it's secured in place as the first passengers start to all step off and leave. Now, as you start to leave the ship and you have your belongings, you have your companions with you, your party assembled team is trailing behind. Hendrik, are you doing anything specifically? Are you wanting to keep an eye or
I'm okay.
Something like that?
This demon is being dropped off here. Someone's coming to pick it up. I'm extremely curious who has been assigned to pick it up.
Oh yeah, make a perception check for me, please.
Yeah, if I recognize anyone, because this is a fellow. This is in the same not social group, the same organization, kind of.
Yeah.
Perception. What the fuck?
What'd you roll?
26.
26. Nice. A natural 20.
I rolled a nat 20. A nat 20?
A nat 20. All right.
I looked DM, I look for big hats specifically. Is there anyone with a very big fancy hat? That's how you can spot the.
All right. So this is what happens. So just as you're like leaning against the side rail in the queue to look towards the flow of traffic down into the ferry terminal, you see 5 figures waiting until everyone is off this gangplank for them to walk up. 4 of them are clearly very experienced and very well kitted out brass shields. From a distance of 80 to 90 feet, you can see them. They have bandoliers of expensive healing potions. They have scrolls with celestial markings on them on their bands. So like clearly decent enough scrolls for spells. Their armor is it is plate. However, it is more than the kind of like the Silver Templar great oversized pauldron for about defense. This is more about like endurance and still
They're proper men at arms, basically.
They're properly kitted out. These are the most well like fitted brass shields you've seen in some time, except for outside of the capital. And their armor is tinted gold. It's got like gold filament and rather than brass in some parts. And the 5th figure standing just behind them and seems to be looking towards the ship, and also like kind of has his head drifting side to side and taking it on with a half smile on his face, which you recognize as a gold dragonborn named Arthen Trunair. He is someone you know very well. I'll put it as Arthen Trunair.
No,
so Arthen Trunair, he was... Rival does not convey the same amount of respect that you would have for this man. There was a handful of inquisitors that the High Lord Juratus entrusted the difficult cases to you. And you and him, for various different reasons, were his go-tos. Whether or not you respect, dislike Arthen is up to you in this moment, but there's no doubting his loyalty to Tyr and his ability as a productive. He's a golden dragonborn.
Okay. I think, do Dragonborn live shorter lives than humans?
Similarly, I think like 80 years, 87, 80 to 90 years.
I thought it was shorter than... I think they... Okay.
It's the lizard folk that are shorter.
Yeah, okay, probably.
Yeah. He hasn't seemed to have noticed you yet, but you've clearly noticed him, as well as the additional hidden brass shields, about half a dozen of them spread out amongst the dock bay that are also wearing cloaks and are appearing unarmored or hidden. From their clear movements, they look like undercover cops and they look like travelers, but you clearly spot them as backup to this assortment of 4 plus
I got you.
So there's I mean, that's what you can see with the 26. There might even be more. You wouldn't be surprised if there's more, but they seem to be waiting for all the traffic to get off. So
everyone in the crowd is the undercover cop.
Yeah, they've all got their shades on and they're all chewing gum. All right. So are you like going to walk down and meet him, or are you planning on staying on the ship and meeting him when he walks aboard?
I'll stay on the ship.
Okay.
I have the height advantage, so yeah. I'll look more imposing when he sees me. And I'll just lean against the rail and wait for him to spot me.
Okay. Very good. The rest of the party, you see Hendrik lean against the pole, the side rail, and wait. Do you guys want to wait with him, or how does that go?
You guys got your stuff on the ship, right?
Our stuff on the ship?
Like your supplies, and you have to like pack up to get ready and all that.
Yeah.
Or you're all ready to leave immediately.
I mean, I guess as we're coming in, as we're coming in, Thork would just grab his stuff and be ready to hop off.
Surely we would have got prepped because they told us we were approaching.
Yeah, I imagine you guys probably would have been prepped, but I'm just asking is the rest of the party staying for this, or do you want them to move on, Hendrik?
I'm fine with either, really. But I'm going to be staying on my boat until Arthen sees me.
Okay. Yeah. After that moment, the crowd slowly starts to disperse. A few dockhands go cross and start to ask questions, and the captain still stays aboard as well. Seemingly, she kind of walks close towards Hendrik. With her passive insight, Hendrik, she's clearly waiting for a similar purpose as to you. And the 4 brass shields go up like double abreast, with Arthur just at the back. And despite the time that's passed, he does tower over most of the brass shields at a 6'6" dragonborn height. As he walks up just behind them, you see that he has the bright yellow eyes that glow even under a sunny day. He has a sharp jawline which draws attention to the rows of pointed teeth, which are white and clear of any plaque. He has tightly drawn, scaled cheeks, as well as immaculately fitting clothes, which makes him quite decent enough to look at. The bookworm, although that Arthur is, he is slightly larger in width than other dragonborn his height, but he has a thick, long cape with the symbolism of Tyr across it, but separate to yours. He is not a truth caller. He is an inquisitor. He is still within the order that is goes after cold cases and still very much within the legal framework of justice within Tyr, whereas you're a step outside of that, shall we say, being a truth caller.
Okay. I think normally Hendrik would, have a smile seeing Arthur. I think they get along well enough. It's not they don't. It's not they get along well enough. I think it's that
you don't get to see him very often.
They understand each other because the situation is so odd, but they don't. They don't actually get along. But it's you work buddies that you don't like.
Yeah.
But in this circumstance, I think with what I know on this ship, there's no smiles from Hendrik. This is some fucking terrible idea stuff going on behind me.
Yeah.
Or, under deck.
Yeah. So the 2 brass shields, they don't seem to acknowledge you at all. The second the 4 of them get on board, they all take a corner of the deck and start to look out, and they all take sentry positions about 30 to 40 feet away from Arthur. As he steps aboard, he has spotted you before, and he looks towards the captain, but moves towards you first and outstretches a thick, muscular hand.
Yeah, I take it.
Yeah, it gives you a double shaky and clasps both hands together and gives you a meaningful shake. Hendrik, what a surprise to see you here today. With a meaningful smile, genuinely surprised. Seems a bit caught off guard from it. To what do I owe the pleasure of the finest and... No, wait. So the rumors are true.
Rumors are already spreading. Yes. Yeah. Yes. It's a long story. You have a situation below deck. I don't mean to be so dramatic. As far as I've been keeping an eye on it, everything's fine. But I don't know what you've gotten yourself into exactly. Do you need help?
Chuckles softly. I can't keep this bloodhound off the case, can you? Kind of leans in a bit closer. Truthfully, Hendrik, I'm glad you're here. Leans back. The way he said that was completely devoid of any malice or warmth. It was just a genuine statement. He leans back, the smile returns. Well, why don't we have a conversation with looks towards the party. Sorry, can I help you fellas?
They're with me.
Thork gives a polite wave.
Slow nod. Hendrik, I never had you pegged for the traveling with a cadre type. Things have definitely changed for yourself.
No, they haven't. Just the circumstances.
I told you get friends one day, but I'm a bit hurt it's not me. Puts a hand across his chest. Are they familiar? They support to your...
In what way?
I'll take that as a no. Let's talk with the captain, just us 3.
Okay. I'll turn towards whoever's there. I know that Thork is there on deck still, right?
Yeah,
I think most of the party's there. Yeah.
Oh, most of the party's still okay. I didn't know, what they're doing. I'll just talk to Thork and just say, I need to take care of this. I'll meet you. Are we in a tavern here or a inn here?
Sean, would Torkel have told?
Yeah.
Okay. No, you have. Yeah, we have a place that's being that the captain is helping us get, and I can't remember the name of the place myself, but
okay. Then I'll just talk to the captain, figure out where you guys have gone to. I'll meet you there in I don't know how long.
Okay. And Thork is happy to leave Hendrik to his work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
The rest of the party shuffles past, and you start to go out actually onto this pontoon bridge, and we'll get to that in a second. Now, Hendrik, Arthur walks over, and he gives a nod to the captain, shakes her hand. Captain. She goes, good to have a rendezvous point. Let's speak in my quarters. And she steps forward. We have Siege Aritz is like doing all the stuff on deck. He's not involved in this conversation. It's literally just the three of you. She closes the door behind and towards the desk, which is like cleared. There's a few writing implements still around. Seems like she's the attack seems to have moved. She's had to move a few things around, and he's like kind of crouched because he's 6'6", and this is a dwarven, mostly styled accommodation. So he's like kind of got this hunch to him. All right. Any trouble with a cargo?
Now, hold on. Before we go into this conversation, we just need something to be clear. Arthur, I learned some stuff about this, which maybe I shouldn't have learned. Before you two disclose any more information, is this something that I should be learning about? Because it seems like
he ponders it for a
problems.
Second. He ponders it for a second, looks towards your robe and you, reaches into his side pocket, produces a very matter-of-fact piece of parchment and passes it to you. And as you scan it, it is a official seal of arrest and impromptu transportation for one Maldum Threnic by the hierarchy of power and the title of High Lord Juratus Narrow Val.
He's if I remember correctly, he's the man directly below the
Hierophant.
Grand Hierophant. Yeah, the Hierophant.
Yeah.
And this is a transport to Erith, right?
Oakheart.
I thought this fellow was at Erith. He's at Oakheart?
So his crime was in Erith. He was caught in Breakwater, and this arrest.
I thought they were transporting back to Erith, where the Grand Hierophant and his people are. Okay, sounds good. Oakheart, gotcha. So that means that the fellow who ordered this, I can't remember his name, is in Oakheart.
Very well, maybe.
Okay.
As you scan and read that, he just says a few words to the captain. My old colleague here is very talented. I'm sure you're very thankful to have him on board. I have great respect for his knack for finding things out. But you don't need to know much more than these few things, Captain. We'll take hold of the cargo now. Your crew and your ship will be compensated fairly for it. Sound good? And she gives a nod. Of course. There's quite a lot of people down on there. How are you He just interrupts her. Espionage and the hidden parts of what we need to do. Well, don't worry about that. I'm sure you got a lot of paperwork to sort out with a ship this size, Doc, and all the cargo and passengers you got. Tax returns and all those things. Church of me to be praised. Looks out towards the door, and you can see a brass shield has like got a shoulder to it, like the step in, and he just gives a nod. Arthur gives a nod to the brass shield, as the guy walks in, and he just goes, "Site secure, sir. We're ready for movement." All right, well, care to join us, Captain? And she shakes her head. No, I'm quite all right. Hendrik there, she doesn't know your name. She says the truth color there has a key. He just gives it a look towards you, Hendrik. Well,
Yeah,
you really
I'll just
involved yourself.
I'll hand it over to Arthur.
Yeah, thanks, Hendrik. And then the two of you walk out of the captain's quarters. He's left to it. Just before you start to go down deck, he turns towards the brass shield, the closest one, and he says, "Prep him discreetly." And he goes, "Yes, Inquisitor." As he gives a nod to the other three as they go down the ladder and start to go about locating Maldon Thrennick. And there's this moment of just the two of you. It just feels like just the two of you in the world completely as he looks to turn and speak with you in this moment, Hendrik. So what did you figure out?
I'm contemplating, Hendrik's contemplating what it is that needs to be said or should be said, or I'm just shake my head. No, I'm just be like, I'm not going into it. This is a situation which I did not even know about, which I do not want to get involved in any more than duty compels me to.
I respect that, especially given your new station, Hendrik. Well, I'd be an impolite servant if I didn't tell the High Lord that you're also an Elkhart. I'm sure he'd enjoy a visit. He's in Crown's Crest, staying at an old friend of his.
Assure him that as long as this doesn't turn into anything bad, that he has my discretion.
Of course.
But if it does go bad, I'm holding him personally responsible. Pass that along too.
I think we all are.
Good. This is a bad situation.
Yeah. If I also may say one thing, just me to you, Hendrik.
Yeah, what's that?
It's a shame to lose someone else as professional as you in the Inquisitorial Order.
I'll come back around at some point. Don't worry. This is a temporary solution to a temporary problem.
Oh, to live long as an elf, to have multiple professions in the service of Tyr, one can only hope.
Well, you're doing just fine. You have a whole warband with you. And I just gesture towards the entire dock filled with cops hit in disguise.
Yeah. He just says, pretty, ain't it? But not my usual troop of... Got a couple reliables, but this is all, well, to cover our asses if anything goes wrong. But with that suppression collar, I can't imagine anything will.
Yeah. My current group, it's not as simple as me being in charge and them following orders. It's a sort of a... I don't know how to describe it, but we're doing good work. That being said, I can be free for the rest of the day if you need additional assistance with this issue.
We got a good old couple veterans pulling security. I think we'll be good. But again, now probably before you want to see the High Lord, we should fetch a drink. I'll be
where can I find you?
I'll keep... I'm staying in and around Wingspurn. Got a rented place in the Centaur Lodges there. I'll go out.
Centaur Lodges? Out of character?
Yeah.
Centaur Lodges?
It's like is
he sleeping in a barn?
No, it's like fancy self-catering housing.
No.
It's costing me about a week's pay to stay there, so
okay.
For a day, so
I'm staying wherever it is that the captain recommends, so just ask the captain wherever that is.
I may come find you then for a night. Be good to catch up properly when work's not so pressing. And he gives you a slap on the side of the shoulder there. All right, Hendrik, this is a pleasant surprise, but I've got places to be and people to chat to, so I'll be with
Understood.
it. Dear God, you. And he gives a firm nod and he turns away and he go down the ladder as well. And
Okay, I'll
you're
just
left
go
to-
talk to the captain
Yeah.
and just get information of where the captain recommended the group go for their inn and all that.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
I'll be polite and just stay on the ship until they get the cargo off.
Okay, very well.
Not the cargo off.
Yeah, yeah. I get
just
you.
to just to make sure that, and then I'll leave.
Of course.
Cargo off the ship.
All right. So your companions have all walked down the gangplank, and what they have seen, what Orly, Thoric, and Torkel and Lyranok have seen, is the following. This place is similar to Breakwater in speed and transfer of operations. However, the staff and the workers of this pontoon platform are all well dressed. They are clean shaven and they are drilled to a military standard. The uniform marks them as League of the Golden Veil employees. The ships ahead in the queue of the Torment Tamer look to be fishing vessels with these great buckets and barrels of hake and vibrant coloured fish being brought aboard. But on a huge crane, you can see them hauling off a massive catch, a coral wheel, a cerulean blue animal with flecks of ripples of dark oranges and pinks. This creature is suspended on crane hoists as sports team worth of people start to break it down and cut it into chunks to make it more manageable to actually get it. It's probably like 60 feet, 75 feet long and about 40 feet wide. And they're like in the process of like removing pieces of it in like chunks and like flensing this rubbery hide and skin off of it to get into the blubber and then meat. So there's this rank stink of like just fish and mammal being processed hovering throughout the deck, and some people are like pinching their nose. And what's clear is a lot of the employees, a lot of the people who are passengers and coming on, they're very nicely dressed. They're in traveling clothes, but there are people of wealth and status clearly here as well. And you're directed through signage to go towards one of the ferries, like this way for an Oakart ferry, or this way to a bay to leave the ferry, leave the ferry station to get onto a ship that's going south. And there's all these kind of signs of, oh, if you want to go into the fishing vessels area and all this. It's very, very clearly marked, all in Celestial and Central Immune, though. The tamer shifts, and your friend Hendrik is still there. So do you guys like just follow the signs to go and get onto a ferry?
Yeah. Whatever, like, you're new to a city, so you just see what everyone else is doing.
Yeah. You follow the crowd of people who are on the same ship as you, and they seem to be all moving towards one of the ferries. And again, it's like a square, rounded kind of river ferry. It has as you kind of go up to it, it's quite large. It's maybe like 150 feet long by about 100 feet wide, rectangular, as I said. And standing on it, it's quite large and thick. And because it's suspended, there's like a few crass wooden stair gangplanks like onto it. It's like more cranes are able to, like a crane is able to do like a 180 swing from a ship's cargo hold and like onto a ferry. So most of the middle is being filled with cargo. There's actually like fish and supplies. There seems to be like a great bundles of like silks and leathers, as well as like the rattling of wine in this ferry, and they probably host like a couple hundred passengers on it. There's a few levels to it, and standing at the back in the same golden veil clothing with the uniform, you see 6 hill giants standing on this ferry at the rear. And they seem to be standing around, and they're smoking these massive, like long tubes. There seems like a giant-sized Hisha at the back that they're all like taking rounds from, and they're all speaking to each other.
Sorry?
Looks like they're on break.
Like dog walkers.
They look like it. You can give a perception check if you want.
Yeah, sure.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Cypher. This is a fantasy world, but like, it's tobacco, right? Like they're smoking tobacco. or some other smokable.
Well,
Some
thing in
other
real life?
smokable leaf
Okay.
that giants get a hit out
Okay.
of.
That's good.
It does also think that with shisha, you can just put things in the water and smoke the vapor from the water.
Vaporizer.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
They're like mumbling and talking. I don't know if any of the party speak giant at all.
I do not.
No.
I'm pretty sure I do not speak giant.
Okay, so they're speaking in a grumbly, mumbly foreign tongue. As some of them are like seem to be joking around while others are serious. But literally, like they are hill giants. Like they are dozens of feet tall. And as the ferry fills up and fills up and fills up, while you guys are waiting, you, Hendrik, hear a you hear it before you see it. You hear a eagle cry through the air as a large eagle, and then another and another with riders fixed on saddles on them, similarly wearing the brass shield armaments. 4 of them start to float and then land on the dock, or the deck of the Torment Tamer as you're waiting, as you see that encased in a wooden box, which has been hastily nailed together, is being lifted up by a crane. And you imagine this, it looks like almost coffin-like in its size, is probably Thrennic's location, but he is not making any noise at all. And Arthur walks over to it and gives it a few knocks, like knocks it around, like just checking like any hollowness or any like checks the nails and stuff. And he then gives a nod to one of the eagles and the riders, who then slings off their saddle and goes to connect a series of ropes across its talons to the box as these 3 riders stand guard. And then after a few moments, the eagle picks up the box between its massive talons carefully, not to jut in, and then takes off with a bit of an effort, carrying sideways. So Arthan's like, or not Arthan, Malden would have been moved around a fair bit in this, as the 3 eagles with their riders fly support, and it goes and heads upriver, floating and soaring high and higher out of view. And Arthur gives you a nod as he leaves and walks down the gangplank with the other 4 brass shields.
Then I'll follow up along to the assumed I talked to the captain already, just asked where they're headed.
Yeah.
And then I'll head on my way.
Mm-hmm. So just as like there's kind of the last shouts for like final callings for ferry north going across like the whole pontoon. People are like rushing. Like you see this one young boy who's like carried like by his father. He's like well dressed. His son's like got a hat on, and he's like wearing like clearly like just made, like just fitting fine nice clothes, like silks and leathers. And he says, "I've told you, boy, we can go and play with the fishes later, but we must get home. I have had it with this dreadful climate in the south." And they're like just fighting, like rolling around his arms. And the party, you watch Hendrik come down in the last boarding onto this ferry as the party then links up. And as that does, there's kind of this shouts for like, pull up the gangplanks, and they're pulled away as 3 of the giants go to one side of the ferry and 3 of the giants go to the other, as they all grab these hoists. And there's this large dominating shout from one who's wearing like an ornamental helmet, as they all go heave, and the ferry like lowers down 10 feet, heave, lowers down another 10 feet until process. And it's quite soft. It's not like a full stop. It's quite like actually comfortable. Before the course of around 60 feet of water, then you feel the resistance of the ferry start to meet the ground, or not the ground, the water table as it lands. And you've got these big stilts all around of the base. Like imagine like you're being lowered through the middle of like an oil platform into the middle of the water, like 80 feet down, as they then look to disconnect the hoists on all three sides, all six of the hoists to the ferry, as they slack off these massive and thick ropes that are about the width of Torkel's entire body. And then they grab an oar, a massive metal oar on all sides, as the giants all at once in unison push and push, because it would require a colossal amount of effort to row upriver with a vessel of this size. But between 6 hill giants, you guys are sailing, boys. Like, you are just moving up. And you go through this cylindrical cove past a gap of 2 ships there's this gap that you sail between as you start to head towards the river. And one of the Golden Veil employee starts to walk around. Tickets, please. Tickets, please. 25 gold ticket to the outside of Oakheart, 50 gold interior, 25 gold exterior, 20 or 50 interior. Tickets, please. It starts to walk around, and people are like going for like coin purses and stuff like that. So you guys hear all that before one of the ticket collectors come to approach.
25 gold. Holy fuck, that's an expensive ferry. But no choice.
Fucking inflation rate, man. It just never stops.
How are people going to the exterior of Oakheart and walking in? I'll take that as no resistance then.
Yeah, 25's a lot.
Oh wait, sorry, I didn't realise I was muted. Is going to the exterior something that you want to do, given that appearances might be important? So is arriving on foot like a thing? Like, do we have to be cautious of that, I guess is what I'm asking.
Well, it's 25 or 50 gold. Appearances or not, we're not made of money.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Okay, we'll go in. We'll take the cheaper option and walk on foot, because we don't know how expensive these clothes are going to be either.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
True. That's true.
So,
okay.
Exterior.
Exterior.
Or can we not just do it? You do it at home and run down the ferry until we're far away from the ticket inspector, and then try and run off at the next stop back to the
I mean, you guys could keep trying hiding from a ticket inspector until you have to get off if you want to.
Yeah, then we get caught not
that,
paying, and one of the giants just throws us into the fucking ocean like a
in the
football.
river. Yeah.
But also, the ticket inspector can just stand at the gangplank to make sure that everyone walking off has actually paid.
All right, so you guys are wanting to get the exterior ticket, the 25 gold ticket.
Yep. 25 each. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll mark that off Lernock's inventory as well, because I am
25.
Yeah, 25 gold. Okay, so he comes and gives you like a snipped off piece of parchment. It seems to be it just says Oakheart, and it's like this dark pinkish ticket. And then for interior tickets, it's this lovely yellowish golden hue to parchment. As multiple people are getting exterior and interior, but more of like the wealthier people are getting interior tickets. That's clear to see. It's like when you're at the ticket office and someone who's like wearing wearing like a Gucci vest like gets the first class ticket at like an airport.
Guys, I have to go AFK for like 15 minutes. Maybe
problem.
10. I don't know. I'll be right back.
All right, no problem. Orly, you still there?
That was weird.
Might be a good time to take a break
I'm
then.
still there.
Okay.
Yeah, let's have a break.
Oh, okay, cool. And the answer.
Yes. As much as I'd like to get the ticket to the interior, 50 gold's a lot of money. Oh yeah, Sean. I am planning on buying a commercial license for the Sherman Firefly at some point soon. On top of that, I've been playing a new World War II game you might like. Headquarters World War II. It's turn-based strategy, where you have like a core set of units that you can upgrade over the missions, and then your kind of per mission units that are just base level. If you lose them, you lose them, kind of thing. Yeah. Think of it like larger scale strategy XCOM World War II. That, and I'm not sure if you're still into Star Trek, but a new Star Trek game's coming out. Voyager. It's Across the Unknown, yeah. Yep, there's a demo out for it. Remember demos? Remember when every game had a demo? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, the fucking Xbox ones were all green. Yeah. Also, the fucking PC Gamer. All the collection of the PC Gamer magazines. Taking care of my brother's dog over the weekend. And of course, the first thing he does is, in his excitement, he runs out, rolls around the garden a bit, gets the smell on him, tries to run back inside, runs headfirst glass into the glass patio door, full speed. No, he's fine, but it's just the thing of whenever we take care of our brother's dog, like this previous dog, when he came over, great. Ran in the garden, loved it, ran headfirst into a bush, got a huge gash on his eye, had to take him to the vet immediately. As in through, as in break, or that must have been either a thin glass or you were going at some speed. Triple glazed now. Yeah. And see that's more dangerous because the older and like single plane glass is goes into bigger chunks that can cut you to pieces. Yeah. Yeah. It's when that's why some advices for couples is get a dog before you get a kid, because dogs will act kind of like kids. Fine. You turned out fine. Also, actually, Sean, if you want like a brain dead game to play while listening to podcasts or stuff, Tank Mechanics Simulator is awesome for that. Fair. Mm. I have the benefit of being poor enough that I can't afford to buy them all. So also actually CD keys, or it's called Loaded now or something. Toxie put me on to getting games from them. It's actually they're good and it's actually so much cheaper. Yeah. It was called CD keys. Let me check what it's called now. Loaded. Where I got all the Rogue Trader stuff for playing co-op with Toxie. It's a big fucking game. Uh, Dark Heresy, I think, because they're basically redoing they're doing what the Fantasy Flight RPGs were. So, yep. Yeah, they with Dark Heresy 2, it was very much slimmed down and improved, but they I guess they just never maintained the license. Um, hmm. Uh, Possibly, but like the 40K wasn't their IP to sell, if you know what I mean. So they had to give up, I think. Yeah, they're coming out with new games, but yeah the so yeah they're doing I think they're just doing the kind of what the Fantasy Flight games were, but also there Toxie was saying that in one of the files there is a Tau drone. For one of the possible upcoming DLCs. So if there's a Tau character for a Rogue Trader, that'd be cool. Because I remember I played Tau character for the tabletop Rogue Trader, and they were kind of OP support ranged characters. Because one of their abilities was, once per session, you get to roll for anything on a somewhat difficult tech use test, and if you succeed, you improve its craftsmanship by one degree. That also didn't exclude whole sections of the ship. So you get standard stuff, and at the end of each session, you go, yep, I want to roll a tech use test, I want to improve our bridge. And just after a number of sessions, you got your entire ship masterwork. I agree. Yeah. Well, the Tau supplement book was written so there was no proofreading because it didn't actually include how you calculate your health for a Tau character. Yeah. You as a Tau character, you start with armor that's almost the same as I think like light power armor or something. Your gun, like your pulse rifle, hits really hard and is gyro stabilized, which means when you go into long range, you don't get ballistic skill penalties for hitting out. So you just roll at standard all the way up to its maximum range. But yeah, you could be a drone controller or you could be a fire warrior, drone controller, pathfinder, and or battlesuit pilot. But whenever I played games, the DMs never allowed you anything larger than a stealth suit. It counts as a vehicle, so it is weird mix between a vehicle and not a vehicle. So yeah, they'd say stealth suit's kind of the biggest that DMs tend to allow. I think the book gave options all the way up to Riptide, which I think was kind of silly. Um, Outside of like fucking Forge World stuff, I think so, at least it was at the time. No worries. Ryan, are you here? No. Okay. It's up to also if Stody still feels okay with it. I don't feel like it'd be fair to push Stody when he's not feeling great. Not yet. Do we just Hmm. Yeah. He said 10, maybe 15. Yeah. I'm Yeah, we're stepping off the bus start of next session, so yeah. Yeah. No, don't feel terrible. If you're ill, you're ill. Yeah, being uh like it's a game for fun, pushing yourself and harming yourself for the sake of just getting a few more done is not worth it. Yeah. Alrighty. Nice, thank you. It's like I love love how it's like the so just so I'm sure for the recording we're going to be cutting the session there.